Genetically modified organisms, or GMOs, are a product of biotechnology. Any organisms that have had their genome recombined, edited, or altered in any way is considered a genetically modified organism. There are many different uses for these to help humans grow more food or produce other products such as medicine. A transgenic organism is a type of GMO that is any organism that has recombined DNA. This is where some foreign DNA has been inserted into their genome. The use of biotechnology tools previously discussed, particularly the CRISPR gene editing tool, have made it easier for scientists to make GMOs. This is a rapidly developing field of innovations. There are many people who are concerned about the use of GMOs and ask hard-hitting questions about the safety of using genetically modified organisms for humans and the environment. The rice pictured here is called golden rice. It has been genetically altered to provide the nutrient vitamin A. In third world countries, lack of vitamin A causes blindness, which causes fatalities. But growing rice that has this nutrient could save millions of lives. But the use of GMOs is never as simple as that. There are many organizations who fight against the use of GMOs. They make arguments against using the golden rice and put policies in place that make it harder to implement. Today, all packaged foods that contains GMOs must be labeled in the U.S. All GMO foods have to pass safety standards and have been deemed safe to eat by the major administrations like Federal Drug Administration, the FDA. Bacteria are often used to make GMOs. Bacteria are easy to manipulate as genes can be added to plasmids that are readily taken up by the bacteria. The bacteria are then grown in a large growth vat called a bioreactor. Many of these bacteria are grown only because they produce a useful product. Insulin is a hormone that your body uses to take sugar into your cells normally. Diabetics need to take insulin to help them metabolize sugar. Insulin can be collected from the growth vats, purified, and sold to diabetics. In 1920, Frederick Banting discovered this method of extracting insulin and sold the patent for $1, hoping that insulin would be easily accessed by anyone who needed it. Unfortunately, now the pharmaceutical companies that produce insulin continue to drive the prices higher, making it difficult for people to afford. Human growth hormone helps treat those with growth hormone deficiencies. Tissue plasminogen activator is a drug that breaks down blood clots. And the hepatitis B vaccine are also produced by GMO bacteria. Transgenic bacteria can be used in other ways as well. Bacteria often work symbiotically with plants. By using GMO bacteria, we can help protect and grow crops. Some bacteria cause the growth of ice crystals, so by genetically altering them from frost plus to frost minus, they can make the crops frost resistant. Bt maize contains a GMO bacterium that produces a toxin. This toxin kills caterpillars that normally eat the plant. So the GMO bacteria protects the corn from herbivores, making the corn crop yields better. Some bacteria can be engineered to eat oil, and this helps to clean up after humans. There was a huge oil spill in the Gulf of Mexico in 2010. BP's Deepwater Horizon oil rig exploded, and the oil poured into the water for 3 months before it was even stopped. The GMO bacteria were one tool employed to help clean up the mess made by this oil spill. Genetically modified plants are very common. Cells are treated with an electric current that causes small holes in the membrane and allows the GMO DNA to enter the cells. One of the most common uses of GMO plants is to make the crops we want to harvest resistant to pests or herbicides or both. Cotton, corn, potato, and bananas are commonly pest resistant. The crop yields will be better since less plants will be eaten by herbivores or infected by fungi or bacteria. Soy is often made resistant to an herbicide. Herbicides kill plants, so this makes it easier for farmers to spray the plants with herbicides to kill weeds, but leaves the main crop intact. Golden rice has been made to increase the nutrient vitamin A to help people with vitamin deficiencies. Another focus of plant GMOs is to avoid food waste. This GMO apple has been modified to not brown as quickly, increasing its shelf life and reducing spoilage. To make GMO animals, genes are inserted into unfertilized eggs, and then when these eggs are fertilized, they grow up into transgenic animals. A common animal GMO is to add growth hormone. This leads to larger animals. This has been used on cows, pigs, rabbits, sheep, and fish such as salmon. The image shows the difference between an adult non-GMO salmon, which is much smaller, and a GMO salmon with growth hormones. Gene farming creates transgenic animals such as goats that produce milk. The product for the gene is secreted into the milk and then extracted after milking the goat. Human growth hormone can be cultured this way and extracted from the milk of transgenic goats. We've also successfully cloned some entire organisms. Cloning entire animals is very difficult. The genes are taken from an adult and don't necessarily turn on in the right order for embryonic development. In 1997, Scottish scientists successfully cloned a sheep named Dolly. Since then, many animals have been cloned, and the technique is applied to transgenic animals to make more of them. Cloning is difficult, and only about 1 or 2% of the embryos survive, and even the ones that do often have other complications that shorten their lifespan.